Hi, dear students, how are you? I hope you're fine. Today we're gonna talk about psychology. This is Miss Dina. I'm your new teacher. So today we're gonna talk about psychology. This means this word. Most of us heard about this, right? Yeah. When I say psych, it means mind. What's the meaning of psych? It means mind. Yes. And when I say logos or logo, this means the knowledge or the study. So this means the study of mind. Yes, it is. So I'm here doing what? I'm doing very interesting thing, which is I'm studying mind. So the definition of this will be very easy to remember. The scientific study of behavior and mental process. So I'm having here the definition of the psychology is the scientific study of behavior and mental. So some processes that will happen in my brain, right? So I'm here studying what? First of all, I'm studying the behavior. Let's see, and what else? The mental process and the behavior. So we're gonna talk about two main things: behavior, which are overt. Here, the behavior overt, like what can be directly observed. Yep. So like what? Example, give me: crying, shouting. Mental process, covert. What does it mean, covert? Cannot be directly observed, like remembering. Okay. What might a psychologist here research? So we have here some research that the psychologist can do. We have here the development, the course of human growth and development. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, guys, I'm here as a psychologist. I'm observing someone. Okay, the growth of someone or the behavior of someone when he's a baby, for example, then to be a young boy, or a boy, then young man, then a man, then an elder one. So this is what I'm here observing this human, okay, during his growth. So I have another research I can do: learning by learning, how and why it occurs in humans and animals. Personality, traits, motivation, and individual differences. Sensation and perception, how we come to know the world through our five senses. We know the five senses, of course, here the seeing, seeing, listening, smelling, tasting. Okay, so what might the psychologist research also? Continued here: comparative, by the comparative study. Yep, I can study and compare behavior of different species, especially animals. And mainly, as psychologists, they do what? They here compare between the used animals, birds, and dogs. Cognitive. So I have here the cognitive. It means here I'm studying, primarily interested in thinking. When I speak about the biopsychology, it means that I'm here studying how behavior is related to what? Biological, of course, it comes from its name, processes, and what especially activities that happen in the nervous system. And when I talk about this gender, it's the study of what differences between, males and females, and how they develop. When I talk about the social, so I'm talking about the human and the social behavior. And I have also the evolutionary, how our behavior is guided by what? By our history. What happens? What evolved? What actions happened that changed our behavior, or was the cause of our behavior? I have here the culture, how culture affects behavior. Okay, imagine here we have an example. Imagine that you are a psychologist. Your client Linda comes to you and tells you that the spirits live in the trees near her home. So, what do you think, guys? Is Linda suffering from a delusion? Is she abnormal? So, we have to think about Linda. Linda now is a Native American. Obviously, you will misjudge Linda's mental health if you fail to take her cultural beliefs into account. So you have to think about the culture, okay, surrounding Linda. Cultural relativity. What does mean cultural relativity? The idea that behavior must be judged relative to the values of the culture in which it occurs. So if the place that she lives in thinks that here we have spirits nearby, or what, they believe in spirits or not. So cases like Linda's teach us to be wary of using inappropriate standards when judging others or comparing groups. Okay, so I have also the animal model, when an animal's behavior is used to derive principles that may apply to human behavior. For example, if I have a rat, we learn from the rats that better when reinforced by food instead of what punished by electric shock. What are the goals of psychology? Description of behaviors. First of all, I have to describe the behaviors. How to describe it? By naming and classifying various observable, measurable behaviors. Second of all, I can understand. Understanding being able to state the cause of the behavior. I want to know the causes here of the behavior and stating them. Okay, I have here the prediction. Predicting behavior accurately. I have to predict what will happen next. Okay, I have to predict the behavior after what? After understanding here the causes of it. Examples of counter intuitive studies. Okay, let's see this one. Some of the most interesting research with animals has focused on attempts to teach primates to communicate with sign language. We have here the psychologist Penny has spent 35 years teaching Cuckoo more than 1,000 signs. One of Cuckoo's favorite signs, Stinka, is shown here as you see. Such research has helped what? Eliminate the origins of human language and has even suggested better methods for teaching language to whom? To children with serious language impairment. So guys, we have also more goals for psychologists. Yep. We have here the control goal, but altering conditions that influence behaviors, we have here two uses. The positive one, to control the unwanted behaviors, of course, like smoking and so on. But we have also the negative use, to control people's behavior without their knowledge, and this is very dangerous. So we have here the critical thinking. What's the critical thinking, guys? We have here the ability to analyze, evaluate, synthesize information. So this is for any problem solving. Remember this. What would you expect to see if the claim were true? Gather what? We're gonna gather evidence relevant to this claim. Evaluate the evidence, draw conclusion, often used in research. We do this often in the research. Most important thing you will learn in this class. Okay, guys? The last thing that we are going to talk about in this chapter, the introduction to psychology, the pseudo psychologist. What does it mean, pseudo psychologist? Pseudo here means, guys, false. So any unfounded system that resembles psychology and is not based on scientific testing. Like what? You're gonna laugh now. Palmistry? Yep. Lines on your hands, palms. Predict future and reveal personality, right? We saw this a lot. We watched this a lot in the movies, in the old movies. Give me your hand, my lady. I will tell you what will happen to you in the future. Remember that? Phrenology. Personality traits revealed by shape of skull. Yep, this was happening before. Phrenology was an attempt to assess her personality characteristics by what? Examining various areas of the skull. Yep. Phrenologists use charts such as the one shown here as guides. Like other pseudo-psychologists, phrenologists made no attempt to empirically verify their concepts. Okay, guys. We have also the graphology. Personality traits are revealed by your handwriting. I will know your personality from your handwriting. Astrology, the positions of the stars and the planets at birth determine personality traits and affect your behavior. How many people believe in astrology? Like this astrology here. Okay. Okay, dear students, by that we covered the introduction to, yes, the introduction to psychology, and we're gonna take another more and more lessons about your psychology, and I'm sure that you're gonna be very interested by this subject. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.